It's Tuesday afternoon, and you know what that means. It's time for Randominity with the Random Christian Show. Today, the Random Christian Show is interviewing skate legend and mountain bike shredder Mark Partain. The Random Christian Show is brought to you by Mrs. A's famous Salsa BUENA, a unique blended salsa loaded with cilantro and just the right amount of heat. Mrs. A's famous Salsa BUENA is available in stores across Northern California, Colorado, Nevada, and Southern Oregon. To find a store near you, just visit mrsafamous.com. The Random Christian Show is proudly supported by The Advisor. The Advisor is a Facebook group created by Colonel James Neil Broaddus, composed of multi-talents such as actors, directors, artists, writers, and more. If you fall into this category, contact them on Facebook at The Advisor. The Random Christian Show can now be seen on the Good Wives Network, TV for women, by women. The Good Wives Network is streaming now over on Roku, Android TV, and Amazon TV. Intro music provided by the Dead Campers. Check them out on Spotify and at deadcampers.com. Next week, the Random Christian Show is interviewing TV historian and author Michael Stern. My name is Andy. Now here's your host, Christian Random.
Yeah, no, honey. I'm looking at it right now.
Stop calling me honey. Why? Don't call me honey when we're on like this.
It's like
you only call me honey when we're off.
This isn't my wife. This is Andy.
No, you called me.
I gotta go. Hey-o! Hi. Hi, Andy. Welcome to the show.
What? Oh, what? Oh, now it's Andy and not honey?
Well,
don't treat me like this,
after
Christian.
After the show. It'll be fine. And of course, now my video is all screwed up.
Good old restream.
It wouldn't be this show without something like that. So
some sort of technical glitch.
Right. Yeah. And it's usually on my end. So that's
beautiful.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. This is the Random Christian Show. It's Tuesday. It's just around 4:00 here, which means it's 2:00 where Andy is. And it's 3:00 in the mountains, and then out east it's 5:00. So, yeah, welcome to it. I am freaking hyped. We had Mark Partain on. About a year and a half ago, I guess, maybe 2 years ago, and we did it on a Sunday. It was just we had some technical issues, so we've got him back finally. We nailed him down, and I mean, this guy is. He's a legend as it is. So, I mean, if you know anything about skateboarding, you know Mark Partain. Anyway, super just excited to have him on. The mountain biking he's doing. If you've even seen any of some of the pictures that I posted, this guy's insane. The stuff he pulls off on that bike is just nuts. So, yes, very, very hyped up. I'm very hyped up. Because I've also been drinking my B energy drink. Delicious. It's beyond energy.
I'm so upset. I'm dry. I have I have deplenished my well of B drinks. Yeah. So
I'm down to my last 5, I think.
Oh yeah.
I've been nursing them. I really been nursing them. But they are delicious. So if you're in the Kansas City area, again, not Constantine's, Price Chopper, Hy-Vee, they all have them. Assorted stores around the Kansas City area, and out in the Southwest, and now in Florida. So
yeah,
Florida and a couple different spots in the Southeast, I believe he's expanded to. So
yeah, I'm
check it out.
I'm going to order another batch online here pretty quickly.
You can just go to
the
site beyondenergy.com and check it out. Let's see, what else do we got going on? Our contest that we had going on, the raffle contest to win the book, Run to Stop It. We were funding Run to Stop It, which helps stop child trafficking and sex trafficking. We've come to an end with it. We had a couple of winners. I found out we can't really state their names, even though it's the interweb and stuff like that. It's just not cool.
Have to respect the privacy.
Well, I've messaged the people and said, "Can I mention your name?" They have not said one way or another, so I can't until they say that. But anyway,
Yeah,
we did
take
have
the
a
high
couple of
road.
winners. We want to thank everybody who contributed. We raised a nice amount of money. They haven't given a total for what they've raised for the year yet. That should be coming out soon. I will let you know because y'all were a part of it, and we can't thank you enough. If you still want to contribute, they take contributions all year long. Run2stopit.com. Go check it out. All right. So,
Kine Bratwurst
that being said,
checking in. Hello, Kine. How are you?
oh, Kine Bratwurst. Yeah. Welcome to the show. Yeah. I was going to do a taste test, but change my mind because I'm no.
Let me get mine as well.
Huh?
I have a quick little taste test as well. We can do.
Let's do it at the end of the show.
That's great. Perfect. Great idea.
Mark's a busy dude. He's got to get out.
No, we got to get him
up the outsides.
Yes.
So without further, we got to get a news
sound. A news ticker.
Well, I got
a sounder.
Yeah.
Sound bed.
Yeah. We gotta come up with the sounder. I've got a news ticker. I can tell you that. Here it is right here.
There you go.
iHeartRadio random news headlines straight from iHeartRadio. It's almost professional. No. All right, Skynet World, how you doing? All right, thank you for joining in, guys. And yes, we have a live chat here, folks. So when Mark comes on, be free to ask questions as always. Don't ask us questions because
we're not interesting.
Well, no, we're really not. But we like I said, every week we get the wrap up from iHeartRadio, who carries our show, and we've got their version of news headlines, and so we take them and give them to our writers who come up with interesting stories about their news headlines. They dig a little deeper into the story is what it is. And it's the crackhead research team. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it with our first headline. Andy, I believe you're up.
Yeah, no, so the first headline we got was the biggest movie theater chain in the U.S. is in danger of bankruptcy, which is it's alarming. You know, people need to go to the movies more, but at the same time, when asked, apparently the CEO said that customers were starting to miss the previews because they were having to fill out credit applications just to buy popcorn. Yeah.
Well, it's that or a car, and
right. Yeah. Can you imagine getting turned down for popcorn?
I wonder if butter's extra at that point.
Oh, geez. Don't even talk about
that's an add-on, isn't it? Yeah, no, we don't. That puts somebody straight into a deep mortgage.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Our other story we've got is a woman slammed for insensitive and offensive name she gave her dog after friending a stray dog during the pandemic, which, hey, that's pretty sweet, you know. Apparently, you know, they were all staying inside and this dog just kind of kept coming up. And so they fed it and, you know, were being friendly with it. No one claimed it. They put out flyers and everything trying to check it out. The young lady decided to keep the dog and gave it an interesting name. She named it COVID.
Really?
Well, it's since the two, they had met under the pandemic and the COVID situation. So she thought, you know what? This is a timely way of naming her dog. Hey, yeah, it's, you know.
Can you imagine 10 to 20, like 10 years from now, trying to explain that to somebody?
Running down the beach. Come here, COVID! COVID! COVID!
People running the opposite direction to get out of the way.
Into the ocean, and well, after several complaints, I imagine that, of being offensive and insensitive, she decided to change the name to COVID vaccine.
Oh, better.
And people were pleased, apparently. Sadly, we've learned that the dog has passed due to an unknown virus.
Oh.
That's just
yeah.
That was just horrible. So
yeah.
This is what happens
we'll do
when
it
you
live. Okay.
Yeah. I know, Bill.
No, we'll do it live.
Yeah, we're doing it live. Don't worry about it.
Do it
We
live.
are.
Okay, back off. All right. Let's see. What's our next one we got here, Andy?
Next headline here: man installs speed bumps he bought on Amazon to stop speeding drivers on a street. As a consequence, he's now available for only 5-day delivery from Amazon, and his Prime subscription canceled.
Yes. Yeah. That's well, it is what it is. And what does prillable mean? I'm not sure.
Who knows?
There's
I don't know.
our crackhead team. Well, I guess crackhead.
Crackheads.
All right, last one. It's right here. Yes. Last one. Thanks to iHeart Radio again for these tantalizing news stories. These parents are slammed for unschooling their kids and not teaching them to read and or write. Apparently, British parents Matt and Adele Allen have decided to let their 4, 8, and 12-year-old children set their own learning curriculum, meal times, and menus, bedtimes, chores, etc. Nor are they using any health care for them. Let's see. Matt developed this curriculum from his experiences as a young boy when he was stranded on an island with his classmates. According to Matt, I've ironed out the kinks of this system since I was able to bring the conch home with me. I'm thinking Lord of the Flies here. When asked about how they felt about how they were being raised, the children just ran in opposite directions, howling and throwing their own feces at each other. And
It's the old let's see how that plays out.
Yeah, maybe we need to make a call to iHeart Radio and have them recheck their news stories.
Apparently iHeart Radio is using our crack team.
Pretty sure that's gone the way of the dodo. But you know what hasn't gone the way of the dodo?
What?
This wonderful sound of music. Pretty sure you know what it is. This is the cue for the Random 9 list. Hey, that's right. The world famous, infamous, well-researched,
Infamous
team of researchers and lawyers putting together what we like to call the Random 9 list. And in honor of our guest today, Mark Partain, we're doing 9 random extreme sports. Now, they searched worldwide about extreme sports. 9 random extreme sports that did not make it. That's right. They tried these, gave it their best shot, and they just failed to do it. So, just like our news thing. So, without further ado, we're going to get into it. We're going to call it the Random 9 list. That's what it's called. The band's got to catch up. All right. Okay, there it is. Yay!
Opa.
Opa, break a glass.
Yeah.
And by the way, we started episode 3 of My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Episode 3.
yeah, episode 3, and it's cute. It's a little
So far, yeah. No, we watched it over the weekend. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like with all these movies, obviously it's accurate as hell into the look of a Greek family. So
I told my wife, you said it's pretty much right on cue. So
oh yeah.
All right, so nine random extreme sports that didn't make it. Number 9, hand grenade pickleball. That could be, well, it's a short game. Yeah, I mean, pickleball is basically tennis condensed, so why not just raise the odds a little?
No, make it a little more exciting.
Yeah.
Raise the stakes a little bit.
15 to 30 seconds and something's happening that you probably don't want. So,
Right. Yeah.
I wonder if everybody had a pen and they had to like stop and grab it.
Yeah.
They grin. Or
Or
not make it and there's a big hole.
right.
And a mess. So
when you lose, it's for good.
you really lose. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Heyo.
Hey, we'll be here all day. All right.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Number 8. Random extreme sports that didn't make it. Springtime frozen lake football. Love to see. Come on. You see a good tackle that goes right through the ice into the cold water?
Kind of like ice fishing in Wisconsin in the springtime. Yeah.
Is there tackling and offense in that?
No, there's just guys that are getting drunk, driving their trucks out on the ice to go ice fishing, and then you just watch it sink. Right. It happens. Trust me. Anybody who's listening from Wisconsin, you can back me up on this. Anyway.
Right.
All right. Number 7. I forgot. We need number 7. 9 random extreme sports that didn't make it. Bitch slap Chuck Norris challenge. And I would say that before you even thought of bitch slapping Chuck Norris, he had already kicked your ass. So
right. Yeah.
So yeah, I could see how that failed pretty miserably. Number 6.
Number 6, rooftop to rooftop long jumping. I would love to watch this.
This seems wow. Yeah, that's almost like a hand grenade pickleball. There's a lot to not happen there.
Yeah. System paradox. Dwarf throwing. Nobody throws a dwarf. Come on.
The midgets, yes.
Right.
Midgets, I guess. And
the midget, technically it's the midget toss, but
right,
dwarf throwing is...
that doesn't happen. They've got axes and big long beards.
That's right.
So, at least according to The Hobbit.
Yeah,
where are we at? Number 5. 9 random extreme sports that didn't make it. Oh, naked parkour in Antarctica. Like naked wasn't bad enough, but they had to add in the Antarctica. I guess that's the thing. So
yeah, maybe, yeah,
maybe not.
Maybe.
Yeah. Actually, you ended up doing some research on this one, I think.
Yeah. So
number 4.
So apparently our crackhead team of researchers were having trouble coming up with the final 4 here. So they actually did some research into the final few, and some of them are actually real extreme sports. Which number 4 is actually an extreme sport. Angry wife carrying. No matter what, even if you win, you lose.
You lose. It's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah. So even if you win,
you're trying to pick up the angry wife,
you lose.
And yeah, you lose. I'm sure there's probably heavy padding and stuff applied to the husband. I would certainly hope so. Yeah. Number 3 for the 9 random extreme sports that didn't make it. Grizzly bear tattooing, which first off, I guess you got to shave the spot on the grizzly bear, which probably would be in itself quite its own sport, and then tattoo it.
Sorry, I did a lot of I played out a scenario of grizzly bear tattooing in my brain when I read this. So like alert.
Yeah.
So like you would trank the grizzly bear, right? And then have to shave and finish the tattoo before it wakes up.
So you really did give this some extra effort there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you would definitely have to.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it didn't last much longer than the first grizzly bear tattoo.
Probably not.
So,
yeah.
Wrapping it up, not rounding it up into number two.
Number two, actual extreme sport that does exist, chess boxing.
Bishop to queen.
And
9.
I'm so mad at myself that I haven't looked up a video of this yet.
And this is an actual thing. You did find out that this was an actual event.
This is real. Chess boxing, yes. God.
Pond
I know what I'm doing with the rest of my afternoon. That's for sure.
Roundhouse kick. Whap.
Right.
And then you got a little bit of.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's this one. This is gonna be good.
Number one.
The number one 9 random extreme sports that didn't make it. Beer pong with Joe Biden. Hey-o. Yeah. All right. That was worth it. Wow. Well, hey, we enjoyed it. That's the most important. And hopefully you did too. So, all right. Let's. I'm just ready. So let's go ahead and we're going to hear from our very wonderful sponsor, Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena. And if the graphic will come up, I got it. Okay. And pay attention, kids. I don't know why it's not going. Hey-o, do you like salsa? Are you tired of pretending you like what the mass-produced companies are giving you? Well, now you don't have to. That's right, Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena is here to treat you right. They got 3 flavors like medium, hot, and salsa verde, all made with fresh, all-natural ingredients in a unique blended, authentic salsa with fresh cilantro and no onions. That's right, no more onion breath for you. It's the perfect complement to your favorite foods like burritos, steaks, flautas, nachos, enchiladas, chicken, and of course, chips. But there's so much more. Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena has gone from a reward for her students now to the shelves in over 500 stores in California, and now it's expanded to Oregon, Nevada, Wyoming, and soon across the US of A. Amazingly fresh, all-natural, authentic, and delicioso, Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena is near you. To find out where, go to www.mrsafamous.com, and you'll also get some great recipes, info, and so much more. Mrs. A's famous Salsa Buena. Reward yourself and eat buena. I really do sound like I got a little Italian accent going on at the end of it, don't you? Oh, there's the cat. Don't let the cat drive. Yeah, horrible. They don't have opposable thumbs.
I'm kidding.
So that music right there is Outside by the Foo Fighters, which being outside means we've got the master of extreme being outside, Mr. Mark Partain, ladies and gentlemen. Hey-o! Mark, man, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Good.
Thank you so much for being taking some time out, dude. I know you're running around like doing a billion things besides jumping like basically you're like Evel Knievel in a way.
Well, thanks for having me. And to be honest, yeah, the first that was one of the first things I said to myself. It's like, oh my God, I know what Evel Knievel felt like now. The first week I got my bike, I found, according to the local shop, I wasn't supposed to be able to do them the first, but I did them, and they were like, "Dude, you're sponsored now." So that's when I kind of what I'm going to do after skating. Because skating was starting to be hard on my body. Yeah.
Okay, so skating's harder on your body than the mountain biking? I mean, I would say they're almost super tat.
No, skateboarding. Stuff. You're constantly stepping off or slamming, and that's immediate to all your joints and everything. And when you're on, you know, I mean, unless you're on a hard tail with a rigid fork, same. But like I ride a bicycle with 8 inches of travel, so it's like legs got 8 inches of travel in them. So now I do 50-foot gaps, and I can't even feel the landing. That's how smooth.
Ooh. Oh wow.
Yeah, the bike industry kind of around 12 is when all the high tech stuff started to come into it, and all the shocks got better. A lot of things happened, like from 2010, a lot of developing happened that explain it to people is like when I was a little kid, I used to my dad would put us all in a car and we drive across the country to go visit relatives or something, and I automatically would sit at the window, and I would just sit at the window at what was immediately right outside the window, but I would imagine myself on a motorcycle, the car, and like I would see banks, freeway, there's banks, there's places where you see natural jumps and stuff. I was doing everything that I do now when I was like 6 years old in my head. But in reality, back then in the old days, in the 70s, the bicycle that, so you couldn't ride them like that. But once I a high-end bike in like I think it was 2011, his Lord had him, and he asked me to give him and his buddies a ride up into the mountains. And I was like, and so I walked out to the driveway and said, yeah, I'll give you guys a ride up there, and no problem. They all piled in, and while they're piling in, I was just like at these little bicycles that looked like miniature motorcycles without motors.
Oh wow.
I was blown away. Like, whoa, this is a bicycle now? And they're like, well, your average bike, this is what they call a high-end bike. It's a mountain bike. It was very, very different than speed, stuff that I grew up on.
Right.
So that point is when I realized, oh man, I kind of need to look into this a little bit more. Up the mountain, and when they were pulling everything out of the van to take off on their bikes up this trail, we were at the bottom of this trailhead, and I ran up the trail, and the trail looked like a skateboard park snake run. Yeah. And I was like, oh wow, way gnarly. So I ran back down the trail. I'm like, Mike, do you guys? No, we don't do that. And I go, let me see your bike. And I like grabbed it from him and up, and I did like the last 3 jumps in the line, and him and all his friends were like, need to get a bike. And that's when it happened. I'd had some random dreams. My brother passed away in 2007, and I moved back to California in 2009. He left a son that was like 11 years old when he passed away. So I went back to Hawaii, where I was living at the time, and just decided I needed to sell everything and go back and hang out with him. And I took him to a bunch of some stuff lined up skateboard wise. where I went and did photo sessions, and so I took him with me, skateboarder, and he could have turned pro. His name is Phoenix, and I pulled him aside and said, "Bro, I don't want to see." And so I kind of steered him away from being a pro skater. He didn't do drugs or drink alcohol at the time or anything, and so I said, you don't pilot's license at 14 years old before he could drive. So he was flying.
Dude.
Yeah. And
oh wow.
So I kind of just told him, look, bro, if I had to do over, knowing what I know now, I probably something a little bit different, like start my own business or join the armed forces, Air Force, the Marines, because I do believe in America, in what America stands for. I'm not proud of who he is right now, but I'm proud to be born here, and I'm a gun owner, and I'm a firm believer in the our Constitution, and so yeah, I told him, either join the armed forces or become a contractor, go into contracting school, building houses or whatever. Get something so you have something for having a family. And I go, if you go with the government, they're gonna take care of going into the army. And yeah, now he's married and he's worked his way up in the ranks. With what he got of him, I don't talk to him very much, but
you did kind of like they tell kids in college sports. They're like, listen, man, get your degree, continue with the sports, but get your degree so that way if something happens to you in your sport, you got something to fall back on it and support yourself with.
Kind of, but I know, I hate to say it, but I know what skateboarding can do to people.
Yeah.
I know what guys, and I've seen some solid guys go down because they deserved, or the attention they deserved, and they went down a bad way, and I didn't want to see my little brother's son end up anywhere near where I had. I mean, skateboarding has been really good to me. Skateboarding does, but I did dedicate my entire life to it, and then better word, got shit on by a bunch of different companies, and because I smoked weed or something. And when these companies found me, it was after they approached me, and I'm sitting in my van taking a bong hit, and they're like, dude, you just beat all my steam, I want you to ride for me. And then later on they would be like, yeah, and I'd be like, well, that's how you found me, bro.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you didn't change anything about you at all. You just stayed the way you were. They wanted to change you.
Yes. One of the companies I had been riding for, speed wheel and independent trucks, and at the time they were the hands down best wheels on the market.
Right.
And the company, look, basically your board sales are going to drop if you don't trucks and these brand wheels. And I'm like, yeah, but I can ride, I'm sure, and make them work, but that's backwards, so
yeah,
whatever, that's yeah. And skateboarding, I learned a lot from it, but I did, I live in a motorhome. I had hoped that better income and future for me, but it didn't. and I have no one to blame but myself. So that's that.
But you know, dude, I mean,
I've been smoking weed since I was a little kid. I still smoke. I live on a farm now, and I work on it, and it's awesome. You know, but in school and growing up, you know, I didn't graduate high school because I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't understand the history they were teaching us. Didn't make sense to me into what's going on as far as like all the conspiracy theories. I was onto it in school, and that's why I've been kind of a rebel. Like I've just been like, yeah, you just and like, you know, you're not letting me be creative. You're not letting me go outside and be active and shut up and listen. And
yeah,
you know, and that just didn't. As soon as I was able, I think like in 10th, right into 11th grade, I got a girlfriend that was a senior, and she had a car key, and she was a really good student. So she would pick me up in the morning and like drop me off, and I'd be like, okay, I got my surfboard and my skateboard. I'll see you at lunch. I wouldn't go to school.
I got an eighth in my pocket. I'm gone. Peace.
Yeah, I'll go pick her up at lunch, do lunch with her, and then drop her off, and then I'd go pick. And at the end of 11th grade, they called me in, and the dean was all like, you know, Mark, hey, you only went 2 weeks out of the whole year. Like, yeah, well, you guys do general math. I got an A in it, you know, and I'm not interested in algebra shit that I'm not going to use out in the world.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true. Because there's so many algebraic quotations that you need for, you know, nothing. I
mean, I guess it did me well listening because of the whole like arc. Okay, that's how I figure out jumps. Momentum, flip. If you have the ankle is going to make it, you know. And,
right.
You know, it's all common sense to me. It's kind of and be like, dude, how do you build your jump so perfect? And I look at something, I figure it out, and I build it, and then I look at how far up I need to start at, and it usually is spot on every time. I hardly ever come up. So I usually overshoot him by 10 or 15 feet to know that okay, make that I need to tone it down a little bit. You know?
Well, and I was going to say that's just you kind of going for it too, right?
Well, yeah, but it's all that stem. Like I learned I mean, gosh, I started skateboarding when I was 5 and still skate, but not like years ago.
Right,
I mean,
right.
5 years ago, I could go enter a pro contest and make some names shake in their shoes, which is kind of cool. And older, which was really neat to watch the younger guns go, we need to like step it up. And then watch the guys that I grew up, fuck, he's here. And he's not going to wear any equipment, you know, because they'd be all padded up and just be like, whatever, I'm doing it. I mean, you know.
Well, just a few years ago, you entered a competition and nailed it, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if I put my head down and want to do something, I can do it. Been
yeah,
kind of across the board with everything I try, you know. I mean, and I give that to my dad.
Yeah,
and the bloodline that I come from his family, Native, can be tough and just make do with what you know, and make it work and be happy. You know, I mean, yeah.
What now? What tribe was your father from?
Choctaw.
Okay, right on.
Oh, okay.
Spiro, Oklahoma. His mother was from the reservation there.
Wow. So yeah, good deep bloodline right there, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. My grandma, full-blood Frenchman. That's where the name Partain comes from. It's French.
Aha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Partain is that how you say it in French? Partain.
And then you have to throw in a couple of wee. And
Right.
okay. So now, yeah, you didn't agree with school, but dude, you had so many other. I mean, and I think you can say this about a lot of the skaters, especially the guys you grew up with and skated hard with, the Jay Adams. All, dude, you all are just. I mean, skating is a creativity. And same with mountain biking. It is an art form in a way.
Yeah.
Especially when you were starting to street skate.
Canvas, and I need to clarify some stuff real quick. I didn't necessarily Adams. I was from Ventura, and skateboard park was Oxnard Endless Wave, which was a little town right next to Ventura. And Dogtown and Venice and Santa Monica is 45 minutes or an hour south. And those guys would come up during the park was going, and that's how I met Jay and heroes only I was like young still. I was 11, 12. Jay was like 14 or 15 when I met him. And
right,
you know, really met Tony Alva until my second time turning pro. I'm from what I would consider the sorters. The first generation was like 30s, 40s, and up into the 60s.
right.
The second generation started. Steel wheels were still. I grew up when I was 5 years old. But by the time I turned 8 or 9, is when urethane wheels came. So
yep.
Oh yeah.
So I was kind of at the tail end of the first. I'm what they call like the second generation, where I skateboard because I wanted to surf. No other reason. No. That's why I wanted to skate. I wanted to be a surfer. Surf and just it looks so beautiful and so I don't know, it's a different kind of beauty. It was like a beauty. If that makes any sense at all.
No,
it's like,
absolutely.
Wow, that guy's surfing and he's making that wave look really beautiful. And and everything he does and the way he just lets the wave push him with it. I wanted to do that on a skateboard. And I wanted to do it in the water as well, but I lived inland at the time. You got to understand, I was born and raised in the first 2 years of my life. I lived on the beach in a little town, little area. Dad got a job with Lake Casitas, and he is 45 minutes inland up in the mountains just below Ojai called
Right.
Oakview.
Oh yeah.
So we moved from Pierpont to Foster Park first, which is down below Oakview. That it's on the side of the lake, so that's where the dam is. And my dad did his dam for 2 years till I was 4. Then we moved up to the Avenue, which is another 20 minutes from the beach. That's where I discovered skateboarding. That's where I lived from 5 to like 6 years old. My dad got a wild hair, sold the house, built a trailer, Alaska. And so,
Oh wow.
Whoa.
yeah, he drove to Alaska to get up there. And it was quite the adventure. I mean, I could tell you some really interesting stories too. So, and that's taught me a lot about survival, because my dad,
Yeah.
he was came down to it. He was he could modify anything. If he didn't have something that he wanted, he could fabricate it and make it. The creative part comes from that I have, and from early on, when I could hold a wrench, I was at my dad's side, putting my hand up reach, because he had a big old fat hand, and I was back that nut, but boy, don't drop that nut. And then when you put, here's the nut, feel up in there, and start that nut for me, and boy, don't drop it.
Yeah. Whatever you do.
Right.
Yeah, he's rough, but because of that, I learned kick myself in the ass a lot, because I never got to thank him. He was 47 years old, about the time I was maybe 22, right before I turned pro. The second time, I had changed the subject because I'm just going off on little branches.
That's all right.
Pro was during the Endless Wave days, and I actually started going to the skateboard park when it opened. A couple weeks after it opened, I said, Mark, I've been watching you, boy, and gosh, you couldn't even when you came here the first time, and now you're hitting coping. You need to come here and contest for the team tryouts. And so I'm like, okay. So I told my mom actually won the contest. So from that point on, I got on team and was there, and I was on the team from team tryouts till they closed the park. So
wow.
I got on that team, and things had kind of looked up, and then another contest up at Sparks, which is about 45 minutes. It's up. And so I went to that contest, and I happened to win it. And when they had me on the podium, they're like, you can either take this, some trophy, like something they gave me a trophy, the option to take $50 or take a $50 gift certificate. And I happened to take the cash.
Yeah. Right.
From that point on, I couldn't enter any more amateur contest, according to the skate team. They were like, sorry, Mark, you can't go with us on these Aspo Galita, and you took the money.
Even though it was only $50, like they locked that down.
No, back pitchers didn't get paid.
Yeah.
If you took money,
easy. Wow.
That's
crazy.
But I kind of shot my own foot. And if I didn't take the money, it would open the doors for me to go to all the ASPO series contests, all the skateboard.
Right.
All the skateboard parks in California had a contest series. I didn't get involved. I didn't get to go to that because I took the money. Which,
oh man,
if I would have gone to the ASPO series, it probably would have opened the door for me to do the world. Because when I met Mickey Alva and a couple of the guys who had like won the series.
Yeah.
skating as good or better than them, and they were like scratching their head, going, "Why? Where'd you come from?" type of thing.
Right. Yeah.
And so,
Oh man.
and the second stint was skateboarding died in '79. From '80 to '84 was a dead series. Was its dead space in skateboard. About '83, I started to hang these guys from Santa Barbara who hung out with Chuck Barfoot, did snowboards.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Chuck's like, "Wow, Mark, blah, blah, let's do a little pro model for you." So he gave me a little shape it. I called it the platypus, and that went. And then he was sending me to all the amateur contests under his name Barfoot, and I beat all the blockhead skaters. And that's when approached me, beat all my street skaters. This weekend we're here in Visalia, and you just I want you to ride for me. And I'm like, okay, well, what's that mean? And I'm like, after I won. And he's all, well, I'll tell you what, I'll send you the 3. You make the top 15 in all 3 of those contests, and I'll give you a pro model. Done deal. Let's do this. Loaded up my bong and took another bong. Then he sent me to those. He kept his word. To, I think, first place I went was Canada. Then I think I went to Ohio, and I got like a 12th. So that was top 15. Also,
right.
Yeah. Pro model. Then fast forward, hang me, everything's fine. They're out of Roseville. Then I think Jim Gray probably has a lot to do with it. With the way that a blockhead met Larry Balma, the owner of Tracker Trucks. I'm assuming that Jim brought those two together. They did a mind meeting, ended up buying block.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And Dave he still had a lot to do with the company, but it was just Tracker. So Dave was stuck under the Tracker name for a certain amount of time. Now it's no longer Dave. Dave now owns Blockhead outright again.
Okay.
Right.
So not a lot of people understand that, but that's how that worked, and that's how Dave is able to do what he's doing. But once they sold out to the Tracker name, it was good for, I'm gonna say, the first year and a half. Once Blockhead started to come out with their own wheels, and because they were under the Tracker banner, the big names in the industry at the time,
right,
one of the big boys, it got weird. They made me stop. Right, they didn't make your sales are gonna go down if you don't start riding Wild Thing wheels. They were just gonna stop pushing it.
Oh, wow.
And if I didn't jump on their train, I was all like, yeah, but Blockhead wheels, the Wild Things, they suck. They're like chalk, I'm fighting for Soy Rockets, which is like the elite time. So
yeah,
I was pretty upset with Dave ultimatum, and pretty deep too. I had opportunities to, and I should have, but I didn't, because I wanted to become the Caballero that for Pal. Caballero, what Caballero is for Pal I wanted to become that for Blockhead. Blockhead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay loyal to this company. They are. I like the name Blockhead. I like that they came from Roseville, which is Central Cal, and not Southern, and not from the beach. You know, they weren't tainted by surfing. Surfing, kind of tainted skateboard in a good way and then in a bad way, and vice versa. Vice shook surfing's hand and showed them, opened a bunch of doors for them as surfers. That's where all I mean, that's why Christian Fletcher. Who's
Wasn't there wasn't there at one point sort of like an East Coast, West Coast like rap battle with surfers and skateboarders? Like, didn't that it's
always been and surfing and skateboarding. But surfing, the localism in surfing is way more hardcore than in skate.
Oh yeah.
The only I can compare that to would be Salva pools.
Yeah.
Likes to pocket if he sees a random dude that happened to his list and he catches him there, he like wants to kick his ass.
Yeah, no bueno.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like Salva and I kind of we get long history, and a lot of it's good. A lot of it's like kind of weird and like for yourself. You're Salva. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know, he's like a surfer where he keeps his lock and like he wants to, you know, take the carburetor out of your car if he sees you at a spot, you know. I grew up in an area which was really weird for me because my skateboard park was in Oxnard. But happened to live in Oakview, so I had friends in Ventura that were, and they hated the Oxnard locals. And then there was two spots in Oxnard and Hollywood by the Sea, and they both had rivalries against gang up with each other, and then go have a rivalry with Ventura, where I had friends. I had to leave the party fucking fighting. I mean, like fighting, like
full on brawling,
broke noses and like fighting. Kind of nutty. Pulling guns out car as they go.
Dude,
get the fuck out of our neighborhood.
Yeah,
like we're kind of gnarly. I'm turned into Hell's Angels. I don't know if they're still are. I have a couple of buddies that that's one of the reasons to leave the Ventura area. People always, not always, but I get like ask me, why did you leave Ventura? Why didn't you ever come back? Well, it may not be now, but when I was growing up, it was pretty cutthroat, you know? And like
it's still rough, bro. I mean, that's always been a rough.
Was a skaties, like get Harleys and like all, and I'm like, whoa, this is like a different direction that I did not expect. Get off Harley, and I'm like, I'm a surfer, I'm a skateboarder. I don't want to be that, you know, not yet, not right now. I have Harleys now. I have 3 Harleys, and I'd hear locally a lot, and there's like, you know, a bunch of clubs here, and I'm friends with hardcore clubs and friends with like the presidents and stuff, and they've actually, dude, come and prospect for us. And I'm like, yeah, right. I'm not hang out and maybe
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm not that guy you call up at like 3 at night and say, come and get me a 6-pack. No, that's, I'm not, or go out and wash my, you little peon.
Right.
I'm like, I'll be 60 years old on the, yeah, I'm not a prospect material. Yeah.
You're just a chill guy riding a Harley, and that's all that needs to be said about that.
Well, yeah, I do have a little aura that I take on with me everywhere. Thing about it's just my aura.
Well, but I mean, dude, and I mean, okay, just kind of going back. I mean, seriously, you are truly, in my eyes at least, and the way when people like, well, Partain, I said, listen, man, he is what surfing and skating are all about. You don't play by the rules, you play by your rules, because that's what it's about. There is no set way to do one thing. You do it the way you do it, and you do it the best you can the way you are.
True, but there is, let me correct you. We all are born into this world naked, intuitively know what's wrong. So
right,
it's easy to try and just guy that always tries to do the right thing, even though I could do that. Let's go down this road. I am a religious guy. I mean, I was kind of forced to go to church and stuff, but I instilled in me a whole lot. So I good and evil and this and that and whatever. I forgot the point that I was.
I think you're just saying, listen, I'm a good guy, tries hard.
Yeah, and we all know when we're not doing the right thing. To be what it's a lot easier to do the right thing, and it brings you it's kind of like doing stuff for people without expectations of anything in return. When you do something, it feels good, period. So
yeah,
and I like, I have often been asked by girls, how come you don't you have a nice house? Why don't you da 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 da? Like, because you you take experiences with you. If I'm to believe this life with you, it's gonna be the experiences that you've experienced while you were here. So I don't want to limit myself by committing to pay bills just to exist.
Right.
God, how I've looked at it since I've been a little boy. Like I said, we were all born here naked. The Creator, God, however you want to call it, created everything here to survive, and He gave us the creativity to figure it out. So, in lieu of all that, and knowing that we were born knowing what, it's kind of like a no-brainer. It's
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Absolutely, dude. And like you said, you're living in a trailer, but dude, you're farming, you're out riding every day, you're living life the way you want to live. And I mean, hey, we've all made crazy. Hey, I took this stupid, crazy ass job doing what I'm doing, and let me tell you, if I would have stayed in radio, probably would have been happier. But I wouldn't have. I wouldn't be with the wife I'm with now, and I wouldn't, have the kids I have, and God puts us in place for a reason.
correct.
And we're doing what we do.
I was just gonna say that He puts you, and I've let Him have the reins. Like
that.
And when I'm around some people, they don't get that. I live life by the seat of my pants, and doing that, all my trust and faith is in the Almighty. Take care of me, and make sure that I've got what I need, and always taking care of me. He's never given me more than I need, but he's never let me go without either.
Absolutely, dude.
Knowing that, it's kind of rad.
No, dude, that was freaking perfectly said, my man.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, because there's an audio version of this, I just want to reiterate, we are talking with Mark Partain, skater, legendary skater, now mountain bike downhill. Would you consider it downhill mountain biking that you're doing, or just kind of extreme mountain biking?
No, what I'm doing is what they call free riding.
Okay, just free riding then. Okay.
Just free riding, yeah, because I'm not really racing. I'm not under my own pretenses.
Right. But now there are competitions for this, right?
Like the Red Bull Rampage, which just happened in October, I believe it was, is like the pinnacle of the free riding. It's like, and basically the way that event is run, I don't consider it an event. And the way that it's run is they take a Utah mountain range, and they say, okay, have 10 days, and we'll give you fill up with sand to build with, and you have a crew of, like, I think it is or something, guys. So you look at this here, and then you kind of go up and you hike up it and you look at it and you figure to get down to the floor from the top. And so and there's nothing there to begin with. There's nothing there. There's no trails. Everybody goes up there with a blank slate. This is one of the reasons why this is so rad for me, because and what makes it so different in the fact that you can just pick these, and if it's not right, skateboarding, you're limited. Once it's built cement.
Well,
stone.
What about street skating?
It's still set in stone. The handrail set.
Right.
Oh, you don't move them around. And when you do have obstacles that you move around where you want, it's not considered street skating. You're not using urban environment. You're put it in it there. So true street, a guy can go down the street that he's never been down and be able to offer everything and stuff that the architect built it had. So that to me is true to street skateboard, like fast from point A to point B. You know, when I grew up, streetscape as transportation, so we didn't stop and session at spots.
Right.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
We didn't like.
Yeah, you're just getting point A to point B.
Back and like do that. No, it wasn't anything like that. It was like, man, I'm gonna beat the city bus up in Ventura, and it would drop me off. I would get off the bus at the top of the hill, and then get the hill because I could beat the bus. And that was one of my thing. That was it. And if the bus didn't have any people at the stops all the way down to the bottom of the hill, you know, and that I was doing, and I happened to be jumping off in the street, going up the other side and letting the board slide on the curb, and then my truck can pop up. So I could do it with speed. And one day I was doing it, truck completely ripped off the board. So I completely the next, what I had figured out is, okay, I can't do that anymore. So as I was coming up to the curb speed, instead of doing that and letting my board and slide up, I would do a wheelie, and I would do a wheelie that would be slide my tail. My board would go up vertical, the board, and the tail would bash into the curb with the back truck right over the top. I would like bash.
Oh man, that's crazy.
And that was the beginning of ollies before Alan Gelfand.
Oh,
and so,
wow.
And way before anybody was doing anything, I called it a kip up, because I would kip it to a vertical position, and since I was going really fast, I would slide on my tail. So if I timed it right just before the curb, I would like kip it up right into the curb and bash, go right over the top of the curb
and catch right up.
Left the street with. So that's how I
learned
to really beat this going down that hill. Because that was we were doing wall bashes right as urethane wheels came out, just after clay wheels, and hitting driveways that were at a bank, and then they had a garage.
Right.
The driveway going up to the garage door would be at an angle long, so it would be perfect bank to wall, and I'd be like, over all the door handles, all the garage door handles, and that was doing wall rides, and
wow,
I just off the lips, mimicking what I was seeing in Surf magazine.
Yeah,
I was just driveways that had a bank on them, so they looked like a wave to me. And especially if it had a bank that was right up against the garage door, then it looked like the bank. It looked like all over.
Yeah, you're hitting the curl.
So I would like just bash that garage door. I had to paint a couple garage doors because of it.
I was gonna say.
Very well known. My dad, for a long time, a company from my dad called Partain's Rubbish. So we picked up everyone's trash. We had like over 10,000 customers. My dad knew everybody. And so my dad was working, grandfather on my dad's side had passed away. So my dad had inherited the company. And he turned 7 years old. He sold the company and sold our house. And that, with that money, he went up to Alaska to get a job on the back then. It was like a big deal. And we just missed the job, and he became a fisherman. And he fished up there in the Kenai Peninsula. And was a commercial fisher back. We moved back to San Diego, or actually Sacramento, excuse me, not San Diego. Then my grandma died on my mom's side, and she happened to live in a little town called between Ojai and Ventura, which was our hometown. So once that house, we moved back to Oakview. My dad was a heavy equipment operator for years, and then when I was about 15, he started the trash business again. And that's started learning how to tinker with cars and learning all my that I have as far as like welding and like just everything that I can do. And before that, when he was a heavy equipment operator, he used to pull me out of school and out of elementary school, and then put me in tractors and say, I need that pile there, move to over there. And he'd go sleep in the truck. So when I was a little kid, I was like hose and tractors and big things called pettibones that turn in the middle.
Yeah.
The tires were bigger than the truck. My dad would have to put me up in the seat.
You got to play with real life Tonka toys.
I got to play with real life Tonka toys at a very early and then once he brought me down into the shop and was like, okay, when everybody had wheels on the bottom of their 55-gallon trums, and I was the kid who welded the axles and the wheels on the big 55-gallon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did all that welding, so I learned how to weld. And my dad he was a unique guy. He wouldn't buy brand new stuff. The rubbish company again, he went out and bought 3 trucks that were rubbish trucks that were broken,
and just repair.
And he like, yeah, from drivetrain all the way up to hydraulics, everything working. Learned how to tinker in a little bit of all those fields. So that's helped out now that I'm older, and
I was gonna say, well, and yeah, you're building all these tracks that you're out there running around on.
Yeah,
building them on an excavator and a skidster. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what that's the skills from elementary school. Because I was scared to get in the. Yeah, I was totally scared to get in the machine. And the landlord just looked and goes, dude, you have a key, get in it, start
yeah. Yeah.
Here, go.
It took me a week to get up the courage to get. I mean, I want to be responsible for that.
Yeah.
So I finally ended up getting in it, half an hour in it. It all came back. I was like, oh, I remember. Just like a vehicle. I can get in any car and drive it. I can get in anything and drive it.
Yeah.
Yeah, big 18-wheelers. I can drive it. I don't have a commercial license, but I can drive it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, all right. So now, speaking of driving and everything, because I want to get to this. Now you're bike riding that you're doing. You're sponsored by Loose Riders, right? And Minesweepers, Trucker Co.
Loose Rider I ride for, and they are awesome. They're like the best riding gear I've put body in.
Yeah.
And Minesweepers, they're since the inception, I've been with the owner. I kind of helped him with he came to me with the idea and like scared that people were going to make fun of him. And I was like, fuck what people say. Make this shit. It looks really.
Yeah.
And so so he started it, and it's been going now for I think about 5 or 6 years. Good. I mean, he's doing okay. So if you do ride a bike and you don't like get Minesweepers, put them in your tires, put them in there with some Trucker Co sealant, throw those tubes away. You no longer need tubes. The Trucker Co sealant is going to make little puka that's smaller than a 1/4 inch, and a 1/4 inch. So, and even if you do go flat when you're running, they work as a run flat. So,
wow.
Oh, interesting.
You get a flat, come off the mountain riding your bike. You don't have to get off it and walk. The reason this guy came up with, he was buying like $1,000 rims and going and racing them over the weekend. So
and just crashing them out.
Like, well, buying $1,000 sets of rims, I need to figure something out. So concept, it really works. It pretend flat, and it makes volume in the tire. So if you really want to, you can run and still get away with it without getting a flat.
That's ingenious.
So that's
man.
what, it's
Crazy.
a really neat idea. You know, and back to loose riders, they keep like they're doing a new video that's coming out, and they just said, Mark, we don't do B-roll stuff. So they're like, yeah, well, we need B-roll stuff. We need this random. I'm like, okay, so that's what I've been running around all morning doing, and what I'm gonna do when we're done here. But I think pretty sure I have a jersey coming out, signature jersey, or just a jersey that, you know, maybe has something towards a skateboard type of graphic, maybe.
Oh,
but there's
right.
something. So we're gonna get something going for sure. And they've been. I've got a local shop here in Medford. I live in a little, which is a ghost town, and it's right outside of a little town called Rouge, which is about Medford. And Medford is kind of a mid-sized town in Oregon. And the shop there called Adventure Bikes. I also ride for out of Idaho, and I ride for Dirty Fingers out of Hood River, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
They're all great shops, and they're all great to work with. One thing that's really neat about Core, I think I like them all. Whole favorite shop because they're a skateboard shop too. So plus they sell high-end bike stuff and high-end mountain bike stuff. The cat's meow for me. And it's with me. They work with me. They'll get me product and let me, you know, make payments, and they'll give me shirts and give me stickers and give me hats and sweaters. Some of the other stuff I work with, Dirty Fingers has been really good with that kind of stuff too. What I would consider hard products, but they do like they'll take apart and rebuild my shocks.
Wow.
That's cool.
Top notch for me, and they'll do that free, you know, which is good to have done. So that's nice. Anytime I go up to Hood River, they're at work top notch. And they also give me jerseys and gloves and stuff, which is really neat.
Yeah,
Adventure
because
is
that's wear through.
kind of a new shop down here in Medford, so I don't really go at them and be like, I want this, I want that. Hey, can you help me with this, or can you help me with that? And they've been unbelievably great. It's been really cool.
Nice.
Let's see, Edney's. They're a skate company, so that's what makes it so rad. I can wear the same shoe bike. They also make mountain bikes, but they're pretty much the same. It's really awesome having the deep background in the skateboard, because I know Don Brown and Pierre Andre, the two of Etnies, and they actually own Soul Technology, which is ES, Etnies, and so it's really been nice. They're good to me. Anytime I need any shoes from them, and probably close to a year now, but got from them had like 8 pairs in it. So I still have like a couple and broke out of this box yet.
That's always good.
But they're really, and say, hey, can I get this pair of shoes? They're like, yeah. And they send me like whatever shirts, whatever hard or soft goods I need. And they hook me up, and it's been really nice. The skateboarding has been really that I had an established skateboarding career, started mountain biking. It's kind of helped the transition.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I retired as a skater now, even though, you know, I have a model out with Walker now, and it's a really good board. I mean, yeah, I love it.
That's a nice looking
Right.
board, dude.
Yeah.
It's
No, it's a sweet deck.
got wheel wells in it. It's like it's super, just super, and yeah. So yeah, the whole, since my focus is now on mountain biking, since I live out here on 100 acres, and the means to kind of build my dreams, you know. I mean, I will think it and build it, and then, you know, after I built it, that's the scary part.
Yeah.
Then it gets real. Then it gets real.
But it's
Oh man.
like I said, most of the time it's all relevant. Like I build it, and then I look at it from up above it, and I go, yeah, as I approach it, you can feel it. You can feel the speed, or if it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's weird intuition that I think that a lot of people have a hard time trusting when it comes to something that has consequences on the other end of it. You come up
Right.
or if you go over the handlebars or whatever, you could potentially hurt yourself pretty good. To me,
Yeah.
I don't think about it. that part doesn't enter my head. I see it, and then I do it, and I don't overthink it, and I don't underthink it. Head, and I do.
Right.
You know, so yeah, and that's like I said, I'm trusting that intuition and believing in that. Like, I've had guys that are pros come out, and I've had them message me, come on and ride your stuff, and I'll be like, hey, all right, come on, let's go. And oh, whoa, it's a lot bigger in person. And I'll be like, really? It looks bigger than, you know?
Come on, you pussies.
And they'll look at me and the real deal, dude. You're gnarly. This is not easy. This is like, it took me a while to wrap my head around that, because to me, since I pitched it and I guinea pigged it and it works, and I'm able to trick it, to me, that's like, it works. So come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but you can't see the landing. And for instance, this jump,
but
this jump right here in front of me, the lip jump, the transition is 26 feet. 26 feet. That to some people is like they're not used to hitting a jump that's a 26-foot lip, and then all you see is nothing.
Right.
All you see, it looks like a big.
You're launching.
It looks like you're gonna run into a wall, and that's literally I've had. Your jump, and look, it feels like I'm gonna run into a wall position. You know, you just ride it, and then just follow that arc that it makes.
Right.
Yeah.
If you match the speed that I'm going or go faster, you're gonna make. The whole idea is to get the peak out to where you drop out of the peak of your air, and it's funny too, because a lot of the stuff I build, I'll look at it and just be like, oh, gnarly looking, but the minute that
did I create that?
Yeah, but the minute I nut up and ride into it, as soon as you leave the lip, you know, I go, be like, I hope I'm going, I hope, wham, oh yeah. And then I'll be like, okay,
that's awesome.
Now next time, and just throw some stees into it, or grab the tire or foot off, and just kind of kind of, yeah. And that's another thing. A lot of places where I didn't make the big jump until I tricked it. One spot where I saw this big jump, like, I'm doing that. I hit it twice. I mean, like, wadded. And
Nailed
the guys
it.
that were, yeah, it was a serious spot. It was down in Southern California, down in Diego. I forget the area, the name of it, but it was like, there's a famous guy named Kyle's spot. It's like he made all these jumps down there. And there's this one that's like a 50-foot. And I was like, when I got there, I went straight to it. I was like, that's the one I want to do. And I came up short the first time. And so short that the back, my front tire, I came down and my front tire hit the back of the landing and bounced into the gap. And I went over the handlebars, ball slide, stomach slide, all the way down the landing to a stop. I got all the dust off of me, looked at everybody, and everyone's like, got their this old guy just fucking belly slid the biggest head. I everybody and smiled and shook off the dust and looked at it. The bike was okay. So I
man.
Again and did it again. This never shot it
and
at 15 feet. And
oh my God, dude.
That's crazy.
Ended up bushes on the side of the trail. And everyone's like just scratching their head like, what is this old guy doing? I got up, and the third time I hit it, I did a big old what they call a dog pisser. You take off one of your foot and you turn the bike sideways in the air. And I did the jump perfect. Landed in the perfect spot. Everything worked perfect.
Oh my God.
So there's been times when sometimes you got to free your mind, and just be, and just do it.
Right.
Yeah. The reason it happened is because I didn't think about my speed. I didn't think about coming up short. I didn't think about going too long. I only thought about kicking my foot off sideways in the air.
Right.
And so and doing
it
up into the perfect spot and landed in the perfect spot. Yeah. Anyway.
Now I just want to state for the record, you're what, 59, correct?
I'm September 20th, so I'll be 6.
Okay.
Oh wow.
But see, I am,
and you're dealing with kids 20 years old or whatever, 30 at the most, right?
Yeah, it's my stuff my age. Everyone there's been less than a dozen people to ride my big line, and they are all under 40. Like the oldest guy, I think, is like 30.
And
yeah, and
you're just smoking them.
Yeah, and I've had like I said, I've had guys and go turn around and leave.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You know, sorry guys, and they'd be like, no, sorry, we wanted to ride.
Yeah,
but,
we wanted to ride, but we decided no, we're good. We're all right. We're
guys
fine.
who've done that too, and I've been like, no, I have smaller stuff. Just come on,
you can build up to this,
right? And I'll ride my small stuff, but there's been a lot of guys that ride all my small stuff. A dozen that do my big line.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, listen, Mark. We said we'd keep you to a certain time, and I know you got to get going here. So, and we actually have kind of gone over, but I've just been, dude. Is there any way we can bring you back, maybe like next year after a while, and we'll get some video of you doing what you do? And there's TR right there. What's up, buddy?
It started raining. I got my other. I don't know if you can see my spot of dogs that are out. outside, so I kind of got to go put him inside.
Yeah. Okay, dude. So listen, we've got links to all your websites and stuff like that. We got @OneFreeRider on Instagram. I've had it scrolling down here. We'll have all these links to everything that you do, your sponsors and all that, man. I cannot thank you enough for taking time to come hang out with us, brother. This has been absolutely awesome. I'd love to get you back maybe in the springtime or something when we get some video of you doing what you do.
Well, yeah, ideally figured out the reception good enough. I could ideally set up a live writing, probably.
Oh, that would be cool.
Oh my God, dude, that would be
I would love to see that.
Oh, dude, yeah, we'll get something figured out.
Especially if we could figure out like GoPro, they do live stream.
Oh yeah.
And if we could figure it connected to you, so
yeah,
you're up here doing my thing.
Oh man,
dude,
I'll look into figuring that out.
Okay, yeah, Andy's the technical wizard. We'll get this figured out, bro, and we'll get this rocking, bro. Hey, Mark, seriously, dude, I cannot thank you enough for taking time again, man. Thank you so much, and this was awesome. You are the man, Mark Partain, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, brother. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for taking time again.
Thanks so much, Mark.
We'll get your stuff done. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys a lot, and I appreciate it. All being here. I'll come back for sure. Love to.
Awesome, man.
Right on, brother. Thank you, my man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Partain. He's out of here. He's got things he's got to get done because we soaked up a lot of his damn time. But oh my God, dude. I still had like at least another hour's worth of
that's what I was, you know what, like guys like that like have done so much and just have lived sort of so differently than I have, that like I could easily listen to him just sort of go with everything that he's done, all the people that he's ridden with, that he's just sort of interacted with, all the different sort of experiences from skateboarding to mountain biking to surfing.
He's been in a movie. He's done, I mean,
like I just need
his adventures in Hawaii are tales of legend. I mean, dude, he's like Dave Nelson, who was on the show a ways back before I had him on. He was telling me how he's a madman, dude, and he's one of these guys that, like you said, there's people that, are just like, who is this guy? Because he's just one of those dudes. He comes in, kicks everybody's ass and goes, okay, I'm out. I got to go. And they're like, wait, no, hold on. I mean, on the Central Coast down in the Ventura, I mean, 5 Point Skates, the guys down there, Brad Span and all them, they cannot say enough good things about him and what he does. I mean, we didn't even touch the fact that he teaches kids how to ride skateboards. Well,
I know,
and he teaches kids how to ride bikes, motocross and stuff. He does so much stuff with kids that helps other kids out and stuff. He's a hell of a dude, man. And we got to definitely nail some more time with him. So
yeah, I know our conversations. The show's usually a little more, sort of two-sided, but like I was just fine, sort of listening to him just sort of talk and like, no, like he's, I could like happily just listen to the guy talk about everything he's gone through, and
absolutely.
Like not ask a single question. Like it was a real. He's got like it's just so interesting. Really,
I know. I kept going. Like I'm just sitting there and I'm like kind of in awe listening to him. And then I'm like you'd be like, hey, we're kind of running short on time. I'm like, crap, and because you get so enthralled in the stories he's telling, and dude, his spirit,
you just can't cut. Yeah, you can't cut it off. Like you can't cut it off. Like you have to. No, I need to know. Like I need to know more for sure.
Yeah. So we'll get him back on. We're gonna have links to his website, Mark Partain. He's on Instagram all the time, posting pictures and stuff. It's at One Free Free Rider RYDR. Check him out. He's got Loose Riders. He's doing a bunch of video clips for them right now. He's done some. There's been TR Surfing, Tony Roberts, who we're still trying to get on this show. He did a thing about real skating and stuff. Did a great interview and films of Mark back in the day skating and whatnot. You got to check that out. Again, there's so much more to Mark.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But so we will definitely get him. And yeah, we got to figure out this GoPro thing, bro.
I definitely look into that and make that happen, because that would just be so awesome.
Yeah. And guys, I know there was some weird stuff going on with the feed, and people were trying to communicate. Things kept locking up. I apologize. We will hopefully get some of this worked out. But
yeah,
thank you so much for being a part of the show. Everybody that was watching and chatting on the side. Of course, Kind Bratwurst and
System
they all have their own
Kindness
conversation
World,
anyway.
the
So
usuals.
all right, let's see what else we got going on here. Let's say goodnight to everybody. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We've got, where are we? What are we doing?
We have
we didn't even get random questions of insanity. Damn it. I knew
and that's why we got to have them back.
I know. Yeah, we'll have to do that. Okay, let's do this. Who do we got coming up next week? There he is.
Yeah.
The man, the myth, Michael Stern. This guy, TV, Hollywood. He's met him, been with him, hung out with him. He's done it all. And now he's down in Dallas. He's working with Dr. Phil and a bunch of other celebrities.
Crazy.
There's this new possible network. I don't know. Anyway, Michael's got stories of people, Lucille Ball, classic Hollywood and TV, even up to nowadays. It's amazing who this guy is.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to this guy.
It's gonna be a great conversation. So make sure you tune in for that. What else we got going on? This is A's famous salsa. BUENA. Can't thank her enough for sponsoring the show. The advisor, everybody that's been involved, our band that's playing right now. You can't thank everybody enough. So listen, we're gonna get out of here. We got things to do. We got places to be, just like you. So thank you for hanging out. Pass the word around. Like, follow, subscribe. Be good to each other. Take care of each other. Yeah. See that little logo right there? How about this one right here? There you go. And that. Yeah. There's logos.
This logo.
Just find them, like them, follow them, subscribe them. All right, kids. We're out. We will see you next week. Thank you all so much. Be good to each other. Take care of each other. We're all we got. God bless you. Have a good night, kids.